everybody. Nocturnal enuresis is one of the common behavioral problem among the children. According to DSM-5 criteria, enuresis is defined in this way. It is a repeated voiding of urine in the bed or clothes. It should be involuntary or unintentional. Frequency of twice a week for 3 consecutive months, and it lead to clinically significant distress or impairment in the social, academic or other important area of functioning. And age should be 5 years and equivalent development age. These are the 3 important things. It should be repetitive. Frequency should be twice in a week for a 3 consecutive months, and at least age for 5 years or equivalent development age. The behavior was not due exclusively to the direct physiological effect of a substance such as diuretics, antipsychotics, or SSRI, or to incontinence uncured as a result of polyuria or during loss of consciousness. All of the DSM-5 criteria should be met. This symptom must not be due to the general medical condition. Again, the diurnal enuresis is defined by DSM-5 criteria if it is a daytime incontinence. Nocturnal enuresis is the nighttime incontinence, and non-monosymptomatic incontinence is both diurnal and nocturnal. The prevalence of enuresis has been difficult to estimate because of variation in the definition and social standard. 15 to 20% children had some degree of bedwetting at the age of 5 years, with a continuous resolution at a rate of 15% per year. The prevalence decreases with age. Enuresis has been reported to be higher in male, 1.5 to 2 times, more common in boys. However, this finding has been disputed by the other report. Daytime urinary incontinence is 1.5 times more common in case of girls. You can see there, at the age of 2 years, drive-by-day is 25% and drive-by-night at 10%. Whereas at 3 years, it is drive-by-day is 98% and drive-by-night is 78%. In the next graph, you will see that the prevalence of nocturnal enuresis is gradually decreasing. You see, at the age of 5 years, it is significantly reduced. The dotted line is the girls, and when there is no dotted, it is the boys. From this 5 years onwards, it is gradually decreasing. Before 5 years, we cannot label it is a case of a nocturnal enuresis. Nocturnal enuresis classified into primary and secondary nocturnal enuresis. Primary nocturnal enuresis, if the incontinence since birth without any significant period of dryness. Whereas secondary nocturnal enuresis is the continence is lost after having been dry for more than 6 months. The primary nocturnal enuresis is more common than the secondary nocturnal enuresis. The causes of primary nocturnal enuresis is mainly 4. It is the genetic factor, it is the maturation delay, it is the sleep disorder, and the small bladder capacity. Genetic factor I will be discussed later on in details. Maturation delay is the more acceptable cause, and sleep disorder is evident by the slow brain oil activity. Small bladder capacity may be accompanied by symptoms like daytime frequency, wetness at every night. And from this slide, you can see that if the one parent is the bedwetter, then 45 to 50% chance of the bedwetting among the offspring. But the both parent if the bedwetter, then there are about 75 to 77% chance of bedwetting among the offspring. If the none is affected, then there is a 15% chance. So inheritance towards the autosomal recessive, but still now inheritance is not known, but there is a marked familiar pattern. It has been seen there is a 68% concordance rate in the monozygotic twins and 38% concordance rate in the dizygotic twins. Linkage study shows gene on chromosome 22, identification of major dominant gene for primary nocturnal enuresis in chromosome 13. Already I told you the exact pattern of transmission is not clear. There may be abnormal bladder function. The bladder capacity is less. there may be a hypersecretion of the AVP, that is arginine vasopressin hormone, and diminished capacity to be aroused from the sleep. Here, if there is a primary nocturnal enuresis, does not wake up normally in response to an ordinary cyclic. So, diminished capacity to be aroused from the sleep is one of the characteristic features of the primary nocturnal enuresis. The organic cause is 2 to 3% of the patient. Another 5 to 10% of cases are polysymptomatic enuresis, which require the specific therapy. Polysymptomatic enuresis means nocturnal enuresis associated with urinary frequency, urgency, or other sign of bladder instability. Other organic causes are obstructive sleep apnea, constipation, neurogenic bladder, that is meningomyelocele, teether cord, spinal cord trauma. In case of female ectopic uterus, in case of male posterior valve, or if there may be a trace factor, psychological trace, that is if there is a divorce in the parents, if there is a birth of a new child, if there is something bullying in the school, that can present it with the nocturnal enuresis. Other organic cause may be due to more urine production. Diabetes mellitus, diabetes insipidus, but diabetes insipidus is a very rare cause for the nocturnal enuresis, or if there may be habitual polydipsia. Due to bladder irritability, which may be due to related to constipation, it may be due to UTI, it may be due to cystitis, it may be due to bladder calculus, it may be hypercalciuria. Obstructive sleep apnea, how it gives rise to the nocturnal polyuria. When there is a obstructive sleep apnea, there may be a reduction in the antidiuretic hormone and increased anti-natriuretic peptide, leading to the nocturnal polyuria. In case of constipation, it leads to the triggering of the detrusor muscle contraction. How? The constipation restricts the bladder capacity and colonic movement will be restricted at night. Sometimes constipation is lead to the UTI also. Teether cord syndrome is a disorder in which the spinal cord is stuck to a structure within the spine, such as dura, scar tissue from a previous operation, a bony specule, or even a tumor. So with this background, the history is one of the important factors when we are dealing with the nocturnal enuresis. First, you have to ask at what age the child consistently dry at night. This will help to differentiate between the primary nocturnal enuresis and the secondary nocturnal enuresis. Psychological and family history are the important to assess the attitude of the parent of the child in order to select the proper therapy. If the child bothered by the problem, behavioral modification unlikely to be successful if the child is not interested to participate. If there is a stressor thing, as I already mentioned, birth of a new sibling, death of a relative, travel in the school or bullying, abuse, divorce of the parents has to be evaluated, because at that time we have to remove the psychological factor and sometimes you have to counsel for that. You have to evaluate for the organic cause also. If there is a sleep apnea, snoring, gasping of air, you have to think of obstructive sleep apnea that can lead to the nocturnal enuresis. History of dysuria, intermediate daytime wetness, polydipsia, polyuria, CNS trauma, already I mentioned constipation, encorporosis. These may point to the medically treatable condition. If there is a constant wetness occur, then you have to think of ectopic ureter. It is more common among the female. If there is an abnormal unistim with hesitancy or dimpling, then you have to think of posterior rectal valve. Is present in case of male. If there is an alternation of gait, then you have to think of spinal cord neoplasm. During the time of examination, we have to check for the tonsil and adenoid to rule out the obstructive sleep apnea. If there is an abdominal mass is filling, then you have to think of whether there is a constipation or encorporosis. Sometimes it may be due to neurological bladder, gives rise to large kidney or distended bladder. If there is a posterior rectal valve, the bladder may be enlarged, that can give to the abnormal mass in the abdomen. When you examine the genitourinary system, we have to check for the meatitis, valvulitis, labial adhesion, sign of sexual abuse. In a neurological examination, you have to check for the gait, if there is an alternation of gait. If there is a muscle tone, will increase or decrease. You have to examine the reflex. And already I have shown the picture, we have to examine the lumbosacral area also. for the evaluation of the nocturnal analysis. During the time of investigation, urine analysis is one of the important factors, and other examination will go according to the cause. If there is a neurogenic bladder, if there is a symptom of UTI, then you have to do an MCU. If there is a bladder is when you have to done pre-void and the post-void, when you have to think of any bladder pathology is there. Determination of bladder capacity is one of the important factors for the evaluation of the bed weight. That is most of the time overlooked. Ask the children to drink 12 ounces of water in the OPD and measure the volume of the urine when the child voids. The normal bladder capacity in ounce in age in year plus 2. Normal adult bladder capacity is 12 to 16 ounces. This helps to differentiate among the two primary etiologies. It is a small bladder capacity that is more difficult to assess, and inability to work in that is more amenable to the motivational therapy. Now I am going to the treatment modalities. Here, main treatment modalities is the non-pharmacological method. Among the non-pharmacological method, the behavioral therapy and immunolysis serum is used. In the behavioral therapy, positive reinforcement is the most important. Support your child for the things for their child when the child does well. Reward of a child for being a dry and night. Do not punish or make a fun of your child for this problem. Involve your child in the treatment plan and gives lots of encouragement. Avoid chocolate or caffeine. Proper toilet timing is one of the important factors during the time of behavioral therapy. Child should be relaxed, use optimal posture, and take time to empty the bladder completely. At school, void regularly, at least 2 to 3 times a day. Don't put a diaper. Don't give the child thirsty. Drink liberal amount of fluid during the day and frequent voiding during the daytime. Make sure your child does not have a drink within 2 to 3 hours of bedtime. Make sure of a child visit the toilet just before going to the bed. Get your child up at night to go to the bathroom, not to advise the child to hold it till the morning. Make it easy for the child to reach the toilet. Perhaps leave on light on. Encourage your child to return to her bed after he has been changed. Record wet and dry night. Reward the child for being dry at night. In this way, behavioral therapy has to be proceed. Somebody use the calendar method also. That will give a subjective thing that will help to encourage the child. In this way, if you give the behavioral therapy, the analysis subside in a few months. If it is not subside, then alarm has to be used to train the child. In this alarm, has a moisture sensitizing device near the genitals, which are activated when the child wet the bed. These train the brain and the bladder to work together so that your child would wake up to pass the urine. For this method, motivation of child and family member is required. Use of reward system for positive reinforcement with alarm may help to attain the desirable result. Parents should awaken the child when the alarm sounds. The child should void in the bathroom, then assist their parent in changing their bedding before returning to the bed. The alarm should be tied for at least 2 to 3 months. Use of the alarm until at least 2 weeks, that is 14 consecutive dry nights are achieved. If the relapse occurs, then second trial of alarm therapy can be successfully used. If alarm therapy fails, then we go for the drug. Desmopressin is used in tablet form, not the spray form now. Generally used 6 years and older. It is 1 year before sleep, the desmopressin has to be given. The desmopressin is available in 0.2 mg to 0.4 mg tablet. Dose is maximum 600 microgram per dose. Begin with 100 gram for a week. Generally, 3 months treatment is needed, but certain occasion long treatment is also needed. But Desmopressin has some disadvantage also. It is a oral synthetic analog of ADH that causes sodium and water retention due to reabsorption from the kidney, reduce the urine output at the time, and at the same time, it leading to the severe hyponatremia, leading to the seizure, brain edema due to water intoxication, and up to death can occur. So FDA not recommend it. So disadvantage also is relapse and water intoxication and hyponatremia. That is a serious thing. Rapid action so far special occasion can be used, but this is also a dangerous drug for the use of the nocturnal enuresis. Second group of drug is the anticholinergic or antispasmodic agent, that is oxybutynin, not recommended first line. If the alarm therapy and DDAP fail, then adjuvant therapy it can be used. For those with a small irritant overactive bladder with urgency and frequency, it is 1 ml containing 1 mg, dose is 5 ml thrice daily, and duration is 3 weeks. Another drug is the imipramine. It is not recommended now due to serious side effect. There is a cardiac arrhythmias, ECG changes, prolonged QT interval, seizures, drowsiness, and high relapse rate. If you compare between the alarm, behavioral therapy, and the drug therapy, you can see here there is no risk for the alarm and the behavioral therapy. Whereas imipramine is very serious, desmopressin is moderate risk, but relapse rate is very high among the child who are recovered through the drug therapy. So, the choice of treatment is the behavioral therapy and the enuresis alarm. It should be most efficacious. After repeated attempts, the child, if does not learn to self-awaken, then physician has the option for go for the drug after discussing with the potential adverse effect with the parents. For continuous medication, there is no consensus. Some advise that drugs should be prescribed in older patients who have refractory enuresis and whose parents are unwilling to awaken the child at night. Combination drug therapy may be tried in patients with refractory primary nocturnal enuresis when neither alarm nor pharmacological therapy is effective. In such cases, we can combine the both using 2 or more drugs has been shown to be effective. But there is a very rare occasion. So key message are nocturnal enuresis are repetitive in nature, twice a week for 3 consecutive months. Discharge of the urine in the clothes or in the bed after a developmental age, generally after 5 years, that should be involuntarily performed. The prevalence of the nocturnal enuresis has been difficult to estimate because of the variation in the definition and social standard. 15 to 20% have some degree of bedwetting at 5 years of age with a continuous resolution rate at 15% per year. Primary nocturnal enuresis are more common than the secondary. The possible mechanism of primary nocturnal enuresis are the genetic factor, maturation delay, sleep disorder, psychological cause, and the small bladder capacity. Proper history, examination, and investigation are the paramount importance for the treatment of the nocturnal enuresis. Most of the cases, prognosis is excellent. Behavioral therapy and the enuresis alarm seem to be the most efficacious. Drugs are used for short-term use only and intermediate in older children and in refractory cases. Management of organic nocturnal enuresis depend on the cause. Constipation, UTI, sleep apnea, TSR has to be kept in mind when treating a case of nocturnal enuresis. Thank you everybody for patience here.
আমাদের একটা ক্লিনিক আছে না এই নক্টার্নাল এনালিসিস
এখানে ইন্ডিজিনাস এলাম বহুত বিক্রি করার জন্য
আমি যে আমাদের যে ক্লিনিক সাকিল কোথায় সাকিল আছে
সাকিল আজকে নেই সাকিলের একটা
আছে আছে সাকিল আছে
সাকিল we want to hear about your experience in the nocturnal enuresis clinic আর এই অ্যালার্মটা কোথায় কিনতে পাওয়া যায়? মাঝখানে বিক্রি হতো, তার মাঝখানে তো উঠে গেছিল।
হ্যাঁ, আনন্দবাড়িতে একটা দোকান থেকে পাওয়া যেত তখন, তখন আমরা কিছু ইউজ
এখন
করি।
পাওয়া যায়?
এখন ওটা আমি জানি না, এখন এর মাঝখানে আমি তো কোনোদিন ইউজ করিনি এর মধ্যে। আর
সাকিল কোথায়? সাকিল?
ইউজ করেছিলাম অনেক, কিন্তু এখন তো স্প্রে বলতে একদমই হাইপোনাইট্রিমিয়া খুব করে।
সাকিল, where is সাকিল?
শাকিল ছিল তো এখানে।
সাকিলকে খুঁজে বার করো।
না
খুঁজে বার
দেখলাম
করো।
তো শাকিল শাকিল বেরিয়ে গেছে,
খুঁজে বার
শাকিল
করো।
বেরিয়ে গেছে। দেখ, এনইউরিসিসে বেস্ট ট্রিটমেন্ট হচ্ছে কাউন্সেলিং,
Yes.
because it's an autosomal dominant condition, and most of the time you will find that the parents also had. If one parent had, there is a 50% chance. If both parents had, there is 70 to 80% chance that it will be. প্রবলেমটা অন্যখানে, প্রবলেমটা হচ্ছে যে some parents, especially mothers, are obsessed about this. So এইখানে কাউন্সেলিংটাই সবচেয়ে most important thing. Regarding the drug therapy, I mean star chart, যেটা আমরা বলি যে rewarding for dry nights, rewarding for dry nights and no punishment. সেগুলো তো জয়দেব said everything about. আর the role of drugs এর মধ্যে হচ্ছে যে your short term.
withdraw করলে আবার এসে যায়।
No. These are for short term. Suppose a child is going to someone's relative's house or going to a hotel for those 3-4 days. Minidine or minidine milk, it doesn't do any harm. It doesn't do any harm in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. It doesn't do any harm because, but it may work, may not work, because there are two reasons for enuresis. One, your bladder may be small, or there may be bladder sphincter dyssynergia or dysfunctional bladder, or urodynamic study, that we will have to do the urodynamic study. The other reason may be your ADH secretion may be low at night.
Adequate.
That is the circadian rhythm for ADH is different. So in those cases, you will need, if you want, you will need a ADH in the form of minidine milk. The reason they give minidine milk is that if you give the tablets, nasal spray is out of fashion now. Either you give tablet or you give minidine milk, because it can be kept in the tongue and it will dissolve, and you don't need to take extra water to absorb that. And for short term, it is quite good and useful. Those cases where the nocturnal ADH secretion is less, they are the ones where it will work. And in some cases, the bladder size is small. So in those cases, no matter whatever is the drug you use,
oxybutynin in small bladder, oxybutynin একটু কাজ করে।
Oxybutynin is also most probably not going to help in those cases. It's for daytime. Partho is there. It is for the daytime. Oxybutynin or tolterodine.
Only used in daytime incontinence.
Partho ki bolbe bol? Partho ki bolche?
When you're talking about a small bladder, usually it was thought that the oxybutynin would help. But nowadays, you have to evaluate the small bladder and the reason behind it. Because as Dr. Ghosh has said already, now there is a concept of the RAP and its synergia with the detrusor, which usually should be normal to let the bladder grow. Now, a small bladder has got definitely some kind of a bladder dyssynergia with the rhabdosphincter, or it is generally small because less amount of urine is getting into the bladder, which happens in ectopic. So if you are considering a small bladder, it needs a full evaluation, considering that aneurysm is a bit of psychological, which can be amenable with behavioral therapy, but in few cases, you have to be prepared to do all the investigations.
Oh yes,
Right.
during your Hinman syndrome or neurological bladder. So Hinman syndrome, though the term has been taken off nowadays by the organization called the bladder age data, but the Hinman syndrome, where you get a Christmas tree like bladder, or those cases of spinning top bladder. So those cases you will have to investigate if if you think that it is not a straightforward nocturnal enuresis or a daytime enuresis. Sometimes we have a patient. We had a patient where the patient was having enuresis, and they did the MCUG, but they missed that there is an ectopic ureter, which ultimately I observed that there is an ectopic ureter. Then I asked Partha to operate, and after the operation, the child is gradually getting better. So ectopic ureter is an
আমাদের in Narendrapur, we had one of our classmates who had this nocturnal enuresis, and it so happened that nobody was willing to be his roommate because every day with the soiled bedclothes, it used to smell like a hell. So ultimately, what happened that Pratyush was his name. He had to leave the school. ছেড়ে দিল, 1 বছর ছিল।
See,
And it is such a
1%.
problem. You cannot imagine. In those days, there was no treatment. Everybody used to scold him, but more you scold, more the problem gets in.
That is the problem.
1% of adults, 1% of adults, they bed weight.
Class 6 এ ছিল,
By
6
by
by
15 years,
12 years.
by 15 years.
What is the age we can tell by this time you have to overcome mostly?
No,
Sir,
at the
আমার একটা
statistic-
কমেন্ট ছিল
uh,
স্যার so me and Sakil we have been invited to, like I have been invited, I have involved Sakil.
আমি বললাম we want to hear your experience.
না না আমার তো মিউট করা, আমি তো বলতে পারছিলাম না। না না এখন মিউট করা আছে।
স্যার Sakil তো বলবে এক সেকেন্ড। তো আমার যেটা বলার ছিল কি that so I am just commenting on sir's comment, like Apurva sir's comment ki that enuresis is not most of the time কোনো treatment লাগে না, but that is contrasting to what Ritubhata sir said, that you imagine that you are a class 6 student, you are নরেন্দ্রপুরে থাকছে, bed wait করছে, and it is very like it is very very difficult for them. So enuresis is a condition which can be really really bad.
Oh yes,
particularly for the
yes, it can lead to separation. As I said, 1% of the adults they bed weight.
so adult এর কথা আমি বলছি না, I am not speaking about the adult.
I never take bed waiting as a less serious condition. When the children
exactly,
are
sir.
at home and when the children at the hospital, hostel, or the children's going to someone relative's place, they don't like to
Even in home also there is a report that they are usually more depressed. They have a higher incidence of home violence.
No.
All these are being reported
No,
in the Indian population also. So I'm just
Rajiv, I have a question, Rajiv.
বয়স অবধি আমরা বলতে পারি যে now he
Because
might
that's what I'm asking, because Rajiv, because
Yes,
the
sir.
students are here and the postgraduates are here, I mean, instead of searching around, you must come to a kind of a working formula for them. Like till 5 years of age, you would still observe, unless it is too obvious to have an underlying pathology and either neurological or whatever. But if you think that it is a behavioral, after 5 years, you please advise them that they would start investigating according to what they feel like. So that the condition that Dr. Kundu has described about a class 6 guy, wetting, will not happen. So give them the protocol of investigations. When would they do it if there is aneurysm?
Sure, sir. I'll just summarize everything in 2 to 3 minutes, and then Sakil can take over and after you. So first 3-4 points. First is that till 6 years, we don't sort of encourage active treatment of bedwetting.
Some say 7 years. Some say 7 years.
Second point is that when to initiate the treatment of bedwetting. So the step 1 should always be what is now generalized as a standard urotherapy, which consists of many things, including things like not to drink fluid after 6 p.m. and reward, punishment. Punishment is out. Reward can be used. If the standard urotherapy fails within 6 months, then you can think of starting the definitive therapy, but that depends upon a lot on what the parents want and what the child wants, and that is the most important thing. If the parents and the child are very relaxed about it, then even if you start any treatment, it will not work. On the other hand, if they really want to improve and if they are very stressed about it, then you should start therapy. Which therapy to start? Very simple is that alarm and desmopressin by meta-analysis have shown they are the same efficacy, but alarm have a longer effect after stopping. Desmopressin has a shorter effect. So as soon as you stop desmopressin, it will come back. If you are also, alarm is not very, unfortunately, it's not very frequently available, although we were getting it in AMRI from Pune, but it is not very frequently available. We can do a nocturnal urine output estimation. If there is a nocturnal polyuria and there is a standard definition for it, more than 130% of the expected bladder capacity, if there is a nocturnal polyuria, then desmopressin might be better working. Desmopressin plus alarm has been shown to be better than maybe better. So you start either alarm or desmopressin depending on whether they want a quick action or a long-term action, whether they are focused or not focused. If either of them fails, then you can switch over. But alarm will never work in a non-focused family. If none of this works, then you can combine them also. If that also doesn't work, then ideally they should be sent to a specialist center for assessment, and then only oxybutynin or imipramine can be added.
Rajiv, so the problem with alarm is that, see, the child doesn't get up, the parents get up, but the child doesn't get up. That is the usual situation.
Yeah, that's why they have a 30% incidence of dropout from alarm. আর আমি বলবো না কিছু because এরপরে Sakil আমার সঙ্গে, but I was trying to say is that we are writing, we have been invited to write a review on nocturnal enuresis, and Sakil is with me on writing it. So any questions you can ask Sakil sir.
Excuse me, এটা একটা genetic predisposition থাকে না?
Yes.
It's like an autosomal dominant. If one parent is having, there is a 50%. If both the parents are having bedwetting in their childhood,
75%.
70 to 80%. So it's an autosomal dominant like condition.
Chromosomal আছে?
According to the
30 chromosome, already I told you. There is linkage different, there is chromosome 13 is there.
Answering to
Kill.
Sir, bolchi last 1 year we have had like 30 patients or something like that, 25 to 30 patients. Amra jeta dekhechi, first a proper history and evaluation in terms of history taking, the onset, frequency, and also the proper physical examination would give you a lot of hints as to what is happening. Now, severity has to be assessed. First of all, there are a lot of family would come even at 5 years of age. So till 5 years, we don't even stamp them as nocturnal enuresis.
Yes, sir.
But beyond 5 years, as per definition, we stamp them as nocturnal enuresis. But it is the family's perception and how they want to deal with the whole thing becomes very important. Like initially, first, like 5 to 7 years, especially, is the time where these non-pharmacological treatment, like motivational therapy, behavioral therapy, these are very important. So, আমাদের এক বছরই হয়েছে, but in that, we have seen a lot of families being counseled properly and separately in a bedwetting clinic, and that has improved the child's condition. Like many of the families would, beat up their children. A lot of punishment used to be there for these children bedwetting. So with proper counseling, অনেক বাচ্চা কিন্তু এমনি improve করে গেছে. And maybe in future, maybe in a few years down the line, they might improve in the next 1 to 2 years. Now, above 7 years, it becomes very troublesome. For them, like we have started with desmopressin and it works. আমাদের যে কয়েকটা patient, they have used it for 2 to 3 months and it has shown significant improvement. Especially those children যাদের like nocturnal polyuria. মানে মা, they would come कि রাত্রিবেলা প্রচুর পেচাব করে and frequency is quite severe. So those children, they have remarkably improved with desmopressin, no doubt. আমরা একটাও alarm use করিনি. The only reason being the alarm is not widely available. আমরা একটা patientকেই বলেছিলাম to get it from online. Somehow they could not procure it. So we did not use alarm. But if you go by the NICE guidelines and various recommendations from the ICI, International Canadian Society, they place alarm as well as desmopressin at the same level. Like it's like a level 1 recommendation. So the both can be used as an initial therapy if counseling fails. And in most of the cases, these two works. Sometimes even NICE says that if these two fails, you can combine both of them. Like alarm with desmopressin combined together would be slightly better instead of just using either alarm or desmopressin. Till now, we have not used imiprimine in any of the children, but then because of the side effects, and we did not need to, in fact, in just short span of 1 year. But in future, maybe the resistant ones or somebody not responding at all to desmopressin or alarm or combined with that, maybe we might have to use it, but we haven't used it till now. Results with desmopressin has been relatively good, quite good, sir. And Dr. Rajiv Bolan, like acceptance of the family becomes very important. Like when you're using alarm, the family has to be in full cooperation with the child as well as with the doctors, because child may not get up from the sleep, but it becomes very troublesome for the family to get up and fuse the alarm. So the family does not accept at times, getting up at night for the alarm. So the family has to cooperate with the entire procedure. Although alarms in the longer rate, it is very good. But if you want somebody to have continent in a very short span of time, like for a Jamun sir bolen, somebody has to go for a trekking or for a picnic or for a 1 or 2 days of short tour or going to stay in a relative's place. So we want somebody a very shorter span and very faster action. In that case, the desmopressin comes in very handy. And then for a acute improvement, desmopressin works much faster, much better. But alarm would be requiring more time just because alarm works on a conditioning of the bladder volume. So it will take a longer time to act. But in the longer ride or for a longer period of effectivity, alarm would be better.
Yes, so Sakir, I have a question for you. For supposing, what is the natural course of the disease?
That is
supposing you don't give treatment.
That is what I am answering.
With age, they improve, sir. With age, a significant percentage of the children.
I'm giving the statistics. On an average, at the age of 5 years, it's a 10% of the children will bedwet. At the age of 10 years, 5% will bedwet.
Yes.
And at the age of 15 years, 1%. And every year, 15% of the patient will gradually become dry. There are a lot of figures in a lot of books, but the most easy to remember, at the age of 5 years, 10%, at the age of 10 years, 5%, at the age of 7 years, 7%, and at the age of 15 years,
So
1%, and every year 15% children will become dry.
Improve, right?
1%
so if it
of
is
adults will.
acceptable to the family, we can say that you wait till 15 years, 99% is going to improve.
Oh, that is different. That is different. But see, the bedwetting perception and acceptability is different in different families. If the father was a bedwetter, he will accept. But if the mother was not, she will not. But ultimately, mother will have to clean. So
Yes, sir.
acceptability by the parents is different. আমি একটা কথা বলতে চাইছি, bed waiting in early first part of night and the last part of night is a different meaning. I don't know what Shakil will
What
say.
about those that the child should wash his bed clothes? Is
No, not the bed clothes,
then
not the bed clothes, but his own garments.
he should
Own
wash?
Should wash. That's a
And that's
motivation.
Till now recommended.
he usually doesn't wash his own garments. So isn't it that's a type of punishment?
No, it's not a punishment. It's a motivation. Motivation is like, suppose when the maid servant comes, the owner is not bothered about how much of utensils she will spend. But the day she doesn't come, the amount of utensils for cooking is much less. So that's the motivation. ওর বাচ্চা যদি জানে যে আমার প্যান্টটা আমাকে কাচতে হবে, তো মোটিভেশন আসবে। এখন বলবে যে no, she does it at sleep. No, it's not that. The subconscious mind is awake. Suppose I need to get up at 3 o'clock for catching a flight. I will get up at 2 o'clock. I will get up again at 2:30. That's the subconscious mind. Before the alarm, I get up. So when we are sleeping, we are not dead. We have a subconscious mind. That is also important for the motivation.
Apurva, what is your opinion? Because aneurysm somehow, either because of the social structure or because of actual incidents, is much higher in the Western world. Now, in our country, I think over the years, during my practice years, that say the bladder and bowel control is becoming a bit deranged because of bad use of diapers, still at times 3.5, 4 years of age, without any toilet training. And both are so interlinked. So what is your opinion
definitely.
regarding that?
Definitely. I mean, there are children who will pass stool only when they are put on the diapers at the age of 4 years, because they are
Yes.
habituated in
Yes.
passing the stool in the diaper.
Yes.
ওরা
Yeah.
পায়খানার জন্য দৌড়ে বেড়াচ্ছে, কিন্তু they will not pass. The moment you
Exactly.
put them on the diaper, they will pass.
Mhm.
So
And it has
that's
got
the
an
thing,
effect on-
is absolutely right.
So it's
In
a
the
conditioned
West,
reflex.
in the West, there is no sun rays, sunlight, so they cannot dry up their clothes. But in India, it's much better in that way.
Mhm.
But
Yes,
it's a sometimes a nuisance. And what Shakil's observation may be little biased because the clinic is sponsored by Desmopressin. So it is biased. What is Shakil's
No, biased,
opinion
but-
about it?
না,
Sir, but
কিন্তু
আমরা
এটা
খুব-
isn't it very
না, না।
strange? ওরা একটা অ্যালার্ম দেয়নি of this 1 year of their
No, it's not available.
bedwetting clinic.
So
Sir,
availability is very poor.
না, in
Secondly, sir,
AMRI
ওই
that
আমরা
is available.
আমরা মেডিকেশন খুব কমই
Even-
ইউজ করেছি।
না, whenever you listen to any aneurysm, anything related, the first thing people starts with alarm.
Yeah, but it is not available.
Isn't it very strange that it's still not available?
No, it is not.
ঋতুব্রত, অ্যালার্মের প্রবলেমটা হচ্ছে তুই তো অ্যালার্মটাকে বন্ধ করে দিয়ে আবার ঘুমিয়ে পড়বি। So the best alarm where there is a part which is in the bathroom, that until and unless you go to the bathroom, the alarm will not stop.
Yeah.
But if you can stop the alarm by, যেমন আমাদের হয়, we just stop the alarm and then again go to the bed. The alarm type উপরে, the ideal alarm, the one component should be in the bathroom. I don't know what is Shakil's opinion, that unless and until you go to the bathroom, you will not be able to stop the alarm. Shakil?
And
Yes, sir. In fact, bole even a normal alarm can be used to make the child get up. But problem jeta hoche eta thiki bolchen. Now the thing is that I mean it's not because of the sponsor. The thing is that we have not used too much of medications on children. Mainly counseling and non-pharmacological method has been quite useful. But of the medication we have used, that's the only medication we have used. So of them, it is seen that they responded well simply because of the fact many of the children have nocturnal polyuria, and it's very scientific that these desmopressin, they work in controlling the diuresis. So
I never use desmopressin continuously. I give at least 2-3 days holidays in between, because if there is any water, increased water volume load, then that will be thrown out of the body. So I always use for 4 days, 5 days, and then give 1 day or 2 day, maybe in the weekend you give it off. So in that way, your
relapse rate is as high as 60 to 70%.
In all the cases, it will be relapse with the
Any drug, the relapse rate is high. But for they are telling you, the combination of pelam and desmopressin.
It's a maturation of the nervous system. That is important. It's the maturation of the nervous system.
That is the most accepted thing for primary analgesics.
But never say I have seen that NRS is but it was a case of diabetes. So especially
organic causes has to be excluded.
Organic causes has to be excluded.
Yes, sir.
Urine
And even
ankle jar, the power of the great toe, egulo is important, because those are the areas which are supplied by the bladder.
And even if you don't get anything outside, after 5 years to around 7 years, if you think it is persisting, in spite of all efforts of behavioral and pharmacotherapy, I think the PGTs should think of tethered cord also.
Yeah. I've got a question to Sakil and Rajiv. What is your experience about tolterodine rather than oxybutynin?
Sir, oxybutynin we have used more. The reason being the availability. Nowadays even tolterodine is available, but আমরা খুব কমই use করেছি. মানে at least my experience with tolterodine is very less. Not used here in ICH.
Which one is better? Because in the south they use tolterodine. Vellore they use tolterodine.
Even AIMS এখন tolterodine use করে.
But like, if you don't use, how our boys will learn that there is another medicine which is tolterodine?
Because আমি জানি না how far it is available here. দিল্লিতে কিন্তু tolterodine is easily available. এখানে হয়তো হবে, but it's available, right? So most of the studies that has been done on these, even in NICE guideline দেখবেন, their study has been mostly with oxybutynin rather than tolterodine. So বেশিরভাগ studies is done with children using oxybutynin. That is the reason
because at one time the tolterodine lower age limit was 12 years. But now the tolterodine lower age limit is 2 years.
That's
so,
because
sir, we have used tolterodine. We have used tolterodine, but then I personally believe that discussion of tolterodine should not be much on in nocturnal enuresis, because
no. This is not a drug.
So for nocturnal enuresis, to use either oxybutynin or tolterodine is rare. And again, I'm repeating it that it should be done only through the specialist, as Gupta sir said, that maybe even with after a urodynamic or a proper bladder assessment. Right. Just routinely, I mean, sir, মাঝে মাঝে prescription পাই অনেকেরই কি that just routinely they have given oxybutynin. They don't use tolterodine. That I will not encourage, sir.
I have never used oxybutynin and tolterodine either in bedwetting.
At the বাইরে থেকে মানে from the periphery you do get many a time that sort of yes. So that's something.
I have used oxybutylin unless and until there is sometimes daytime incontinence. Sometimes I use, but otherwise nocturnal enuresis, I will never use oxybutylin because I don't believe in that.
So, and one of the most important message for the postgraduate trainee is the history, is a proper history taking and a proper examination, because that is the most important message. And nowadays they said that we will also try to implement in our enuresis clinic, because I am at the moment, me and Sakil are working on it, is that to aid the history taking, you need a proper questionnaire also, a questionnaire that you will give it to the family. So with a proper history taking and a proper examination, if that is done properly, then you are sure that you are dealing with monosymptomatic nocturnal enuresis. And if you are dealing with that, then the usual therapy that Apurva sir correctly bollen, most of them requires really good counseling, which we don't have at the moment. We don't have that time to do a good counseling.
I've got only last two questions to Rajiv and Sakil. That one is that early, the theory of decreased vasopressin secretion at night and small bladder. So এই যে early night and late night, এটার কি কোনো ভ্যালু আছে সত্যি in the history? Early night bed waiting and late night bed waiting.
Sakil will get the first try.
Early, late is mostly the volume dependent আর কি, large volume যেটা আমরা দেখি মানে based on like how much they are doing, ওটা তো blood capacity due to ADH হ্যাঁ, ওটা basically indicates ke the large volume indicates the defect in the ADH secretion, ওটা নিয়ে problem. So in those children like it's basically desmopressin would work better, but shorter মানে small bladder capacity এইসব হলে তাহলে conditioned reflex through alarm বা even like oxybutylin, these would work better. কিন্তু late night আর early আমার ঠিক বলতে পারবো না।
রাজীব কি বলবে?
Postponing voiding, can we increase the bladder capacity if you postpone voiding? If don't go to the, can you increase really?
No, not actually.
Rajiv.
Sir, postponing voiding তো এরকম করা উচিত না স্যার।
No, that is not more problem.
The only way when you find that the reason behind is a small bladder capacity and you have excluded any other neurological causes, or even if there is a neurological cause, the last resort is us, we surgeons, to do an augmentation of the bladder.
And my second question is that are the nephrologists always bare-bodied? Why they are not visible?
স্যার ভালো কাপড় টাপড় থাকে না তো করার জন্য।
All wet. Rajiv, is it all wet? Is it all wet, Rajiv?
স্যার ছেঁড়া আছে, ওয়েট আছে কিনা জানি না, কিন্তু ছেঁড়া আছে।
রাজীব আর্লি ভার্সেস লেটটাও আনসার দিলেন না কিন্তু।
সো আমার এই আনসারটা একটু ঘুরিয়ে দিচ্ছি। সো enuresis per se is not my favorite subject. I hate enuresis, and I never liked it. I think it is not I used to think it is not a nephrological subject at all. Then in 2016 or 17, I attended a ESPN conference, European Society Conference, and they had a full day just on enuresis, a full day program just on enuresis, and they এই যে আমরা যে স্টাডি গুলো করি, they were the person who was speaking there, and they were doing this study, and what they are, sir, accept this, আমি একটা মিটিং আছি 10 মিনিট পর ফিরবো, and what they were showing was that enuresis is not a single disease. As with most of the disease, it is a sort of an amalgamation of various other components. So there is a problem with we are focusing on ADH. There is a problem with sleep. We were thinking of problem with sleep. I was thinking of obstructive sleep apnea that increases ADH secretion or decreases ADH secretion, but it is not like that. There is a problem with the sleep is fragmented, and there is a problem with even a circadian rhythm of kidney control of solutes. So coming back to this early versus late, all of this can help us differentiating which component is the predominant. Like if you are having a nocturnal polyuria, then maybe the ADH component is predominant. If you are having a multiple small things, then it is maybe the bladder capacity is predominant. If you are having more towards the early morning where you have certain pattern of sleep, then maybe that component is important. So all of this can help, but at the moment there's still studies going on, and at the moment we are not really implementing our treatment based on that. Even this NICE guideline also doesn't strongly advocate to check nocturnal polyuria and then give desmopressin, and if the nocturnal polyuria is absent, then give bladder therapy. NICE guideline is not also advocating that. It is just suggesting. So it is something which has got lots of potentiality, but and we are just like scratching the top. But again, it's not my interest at all.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you, Jaideep. Thank you.